Anthony Center and Joseph Testa, better known as the Gemini Twins, are two mobsters in the Lucchese crime family. Center and Testa are former members of the DiMeo crew in the Gambino crime family. In 1989, both Center and Testa were found guilty of racketeering and 10 counts of murder, and each were sentenced to life in federal prison. Early life. Anthony Michael Center was born in Canarsie, Brooklyn, New York, to immigrants Michael Center, Northern Italian, and wife from Rovereto, Italy. The original family name was Cent, but was later anglicized to Center. His uncle, Gambino and Colombo associate, Robert Center, owned the Canarsie Recycling Company in Canarsie. As a young man, Anthony worked at both his father's small debris removal business and his uncle's sanitation company. Robert Center gained notoriety for the kidnapping and murder of Emmanuel Gambino, the nephew of Gambino crime family boss Carlo Gambino and nephew of Paul Castellano. On December 4, 1972, Robert Center was arrested and confessed to the murder of Gambino. He also revealed the identities of Rickard Nilsson and Warren Sherman, who were his two accomplices. On June 1, 1973, Robert pleaded guilty to manslaughter and was sentenced to 15 years in prison. After his release, Robert was murdered by Colombo crime family associates from Brooklyn on orders from Colombo crime family capo John Matera. Anthony Center married an Italian-American woman on July 24, 1977, at a catering hall in Canarsie, Brooklyn. The wedding was attended by many criminals including Gambino crime family member Roy DiMeo. Joseph Carmine Testa was born in 1955 in the United States. Testa was one of 9 children born to a transport truck driver and a housewife. His brother Patrick Testa also became a mobster, joining the DiMeo crew. Gemini Twins. Growing up, Anthony Center became close friends with Joseph Testa. When Testa was 15, a 13-year-old neighbor was mugged by a knife-wielding Puerto Rican man from East New York. The assault victim complained to Testa, who gathered Center among others and led the group in a borrowed car, spending the day searching for the assailant. In 1973, Testa was nearly killed in a bar fight with a Puerto Rican opponent, when the assailant's knife punctured his lung. Center hunted down the Puerto Rican and nearly beat him to death with his fists. By 1970, at the age of 12, Center had already been convicted of auto theft 3 times. Testa and Center had all of their cases dismissed because they were juveniles at the time. Testa and Center became known as the Gemini Twins because they were always together, and the primary hangout of the DiMeo crew was the Gemini Lounge. DiMeo crew Chris Rosenberg hired Center and Testa to wax his Corvette and Porsche and steal cars for him. Rosenberg introduced his friends Center and Testa to Roy DiMeo, who asked them to join his crew. DiMeo, Rosenberg, Center and Testa became the core of the DiMeo crew, and became notorious for their ruthless violence. The crew was suspected to be involved in 75 to 200 murders throughout the mid-1970s and into the 1980s. Center gained a reputation for providing the crew with significant revenue from auto theft. Although Center was a large earner for the Gemini Lounge crew, he was highly disliked by Albert DiMeo, the son of Roy DiMeo. Albert's personal judgment of Center was that there was something slick and phony about him. Murder of DiMeo. On January 10, 1983, Roy DiMeo went to crew member Patrick Testa's body shop for a meeting with his men. On January 18, he was found murdered in his abandoned car's trunk. He had been shot multiple times in the head and had a bullet wound in his hand, assumed by law enforcement to be from throwing his hand up to his face in a self-defense reflex when the shots were fired at him. Anthony Gaggi was originally suspected by law enforcement officials of being the one who personally killed DiMeo. Gaggi was not charged with the crime. According to former Lucchese acting boss Anthony Casso, DiMeo was killed at Patrick Testa's Canarsie home by Joseph Testa and Center following an agreement with Casso, who was given the contract by Gambino crime family boss Paul Castellano and Frank DeSico after they were unable to kill DiMeo in the fall of 1982. DiMeo was seated, about to receive coffee, when Testa and Center opened fire. Anthony Gaggi was not present. Moved to the Lucchese family after the murder of Roy DiMeo, Center and Testa drifted into the Lucchese crime family. According to Casso, they were responsible for the murder on June 13, 1986, of Russian-American gangster Vladimir Reznikov. Reznikov had reportedly threatened the life and family of Marat Balagula, a Ukrainian immigrant who ruled the Russian Mafia in Brighton Beach. Balagula, who was then masterminding a multi-million-dollar gasoline bootlegging operation, had been paying tribute to the five families, who regarded him as their biggest moneymaker after drugs. Arrest and aftermath. On September 14, 1989, Center and Testa were both sentenced to life imprisonment. Center continues to serve his sentence at the United States Penitentiary, USP, Allenwood, Pennsylvania. Testa is currently serving his sentence at the Federal Correctional Institute in Terminal Island for crimes that include multiple murders. In 1994, it was discovered that pension contributions were being paid into a Teamsters pension account in Center's name by a cousin of Center, one Dominic Vulpes, who owned a garbage company. A court investigator determined that $30,000 of contributions had been paid into the account over a 6-year period while Center was in prison on a life sentence. Union officials said Center could have qualified for a pension of $1,400 a month if the payments by Canarsie Recycling had continued for another 5 years. Center will not collect the pension. The Teamsters disqualified Center as a member and the pension fund rejected his pension claim. It is unclear whether Center's cousin, Dominic Vulpes, or the garbage company he owns received a refund of the fraudulent contributions. References. Sources. DiMeo, Albert. For the Sins of My Father, A Mafia Killer, His Son, and the Legacy of a Mob Life, 2003, ISBN 9780767911290. Mustaine, Gene and Capisi, Jerry. Murder Machine. 1993, Onyx, 0-451-40387-8. Carlo, Philip. Gas Pipe. Confessions of a Mafia Boss 2009, Harper 0061429856. External links. New York Times: 2 and Gambino family get life.